Here. Today's video is a new entry into, I think we're still calling it Bronco Eric review series or whatever. If you don't know what that is, me and this other YouTuber, Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies, we've we built a friendship over the past few months, and what we've decided on doing, like a little collaboration, is he has me review one film, and then I say what I thought about it, and then I challenge him, and it goes on from there. And in his last video, I had him and his buddy Bill review the movie Arachnophobia. And I was kind of being a dick, and the reason why I had them review Arachnophobia was mainly because A, I like the rapport between Bronco and Bill, and B, I know Bill's afraid of spiders. So after they did the review, Bill actually challenged me to review, it's not really a challenge, but told me that I have to review tonight's video, or tonight's discussion, whatever, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
It's me too.
That's right. And Rachel's here. I figured, you know what, Bill sat in the last one, and Rachel actually sat and watched this with me because she did want to see it. And I said, you know what, fuck it, she can talk about it with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 2010. The basic plot is we follow Tucker and Dale, and they're two
Hillbillies.
two hillbillies, two country bumpkins. They're on their way into the woods because Tucker just bought like a house for vacation, you know, go fishing.
Let's paint the picture though. The house is a definite fixer-upper,
Yes.
but they don't see it that way. They think that it only needs to be dusted.
Yeah, pretty much. And while they're there, there's a group of college students, and what happens is one of the students is like, they're all going skinny dipping, but they still have their clothes on for some reason.
Sure.
Falls in the water. They rescue her, and then the other students mistaken that for kidnapping, and then they are slowly killed accidentally, but the surviving teens blame Tucker and Dale, and it goes on from there. I had seen this movie once, maybe years ago.
Oh, you did?
Years ago. I remembered absolutely nothing. So I pretty much went in this blind. I ended up absolutely fucking loving this film. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. I really, really liked it. I don't know any of the actors' names. Tucker, he's the blonde. There's Tucker and Dale. Tucker's the skinny blonde, and Dale's the fat bearded guy. Okay. Tucker I recognize from Firefly TV show, and I know he's gonna be Iago, the voice of Iago in the new Aladdin. But he was kind of the straight man, you know, putting up with Dale's kind of.
He was the more macho.
If
that's how you would word it. He's not macho, but between the two of them, I guess he'd be the more.
He was the more straight.
Person.
He was the more straight man, compared to like Dale's like oafishness, his goofiness.
His sensitivity.
Really, really funny. He was. Think of it like Tucker and Dale are the Golden Girls. He'd be like Tucker would be B. Arthur.
I want to be Rose.
And Dale would be Rose. Perfect way to say it. But Tucker was really funny. He had a lot of really funny lines. His facial expressions when dealing with Dale were perfect. So he was great. And then Dale was this lovable oaf. Mm-hmm. He's not stupid.
No.
He's not even really simple-minded, but he's very uneducated. Mm-hmm. And he, like I said, he's the lovable oaf, and it shows because the girl that falls in the water that they rescue, he's trying to make her, like, as she heals up, like, her stay in this rundown shack as enjoyable as possible.
Oh, the pancakes.
The pancakes. He wakes her up with breakfast in bed,
and she's scared because she doesn't know what's going on, and so she wakes up and she's like, "No, don't hurt me." He's like, "Oh, okay, no pancakes then."
And then, you know, what does he do? He plays like Monopoly with her or chess or something like that, just to make her feel better. So, but he's very likable, and then, like, when he first meets the groups, he's already got a crush on this chick, and Tucker's like, well, just go talk to her. And Dale's like, you know, women usually throw up when they talk to me type of thing. What am I going to do? And then he does his usual "Hi, I'm Dale" stuff, and he just comes off as kind of unnecessarily comes off as a creep because he's also got a sickle hanging next to him.
Yeah.
It's funny writing with the characters, and it works perfectly. Um, the college kids, they're throwaway characters. I couldn't remember a single person's name.
Mm-mm.
Most of them are likable, but they're there just to die and deal with Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
So they're nothing special, but they're not this like at first I thought I was gonna hate them because when we meet them, they're driving down to their destination and oh no, we forgot the beer, but I got a joint, so everything's okay type of
Yeah.
thing. So I thought I was gonna hate them, but they're likable for the most part. But they're stereotypical. You get the pretty blonde. You got the nerd. You have the black guy,
Mm-hmm.
the black girl, and then you have the one that's we'll get to has kind of a. He's not as good as he
Yes, he makes it out to be.
yeah. But overall, like the performances are decent. And the only other character is in there for like maybe 3 minutes total. He's a cop and he just does cop things. But Tucker and Dale, the actors are fantastic. And the blonde we see the most of, the one that fell in the water, she's pretty good dealing with Tucker and Dale. So the performances overall are really, really good.
Like the part when she starts to go out and help them around their farm, and her friends go to spy on them at the house, and she goes, "Oh, well, can I help? I used to live on a farm. I know how to dig good holes and everything like that." So her college friends think that she's digging her own grave.
Yes. And that's what I was going to get to. The comedy in this is written so perfectly. And what's great about this comedy, it's all misinterpretation.
Right.
Like what Rachel just said, they think she's digging her own grave. Because what happened is, they're skinny dipping. She falls in. They rescue her and they put her in her boat. And then Tucker yells at him. He's like, "Hey, we got your friend."
Yeah.
And they mistaken it as a kidnapping.
Right.
Because earlier on, when they first met Tucker and Dale, they're driving alongside them. And then, Tucker and Dale are trying to pass them in their pickup truck. And they just look at him. And they're just... they get this weird look on their face. And then they drive past. And then they meet him at the gas station. And of course, Dale says hello, but he's got his, his sickle and everything. So they already think they're crazy, inbred rednecks,
Right.
from like Wrong Turn or something like that. But that's what's great about the writing is not just, the funny one-liners. It's the creativity in the misinterpretation. The digging the grave one was great. My favorite part is I won't spoil it too much, but Rachel's telling me is the bee scene. Tucker, I don't want to spoil this too much because it's a fantastic scene of comedy and physical comedy and everything. Is Tucker has a chainsaw, and because they're trying to spruce up, the cabin. And he's cutting through a log, and he cuts through a beehive. And, of course, the bees are attacking him, and he's running around, getting stung to death and trying to shoot them off with the chainsaw. And, of course, one of the students thinks, he's Leatherface and chasing him. And then it goes on from there. And then, like I said, is it Alan Roebuck? I think his name. Anyway, the guy playing Tucker, his physical comedy is just so fantastic. And then after the teen is killed, you see these big welts on his face, and he's pouring beer on him that hurt, to kill, the alcohol killing the infection. All that. It's just fantastic physical comedy. And then there's more deaths, and one involving like a wood chipper and gunshots and this and that, and it's really smart and funny, and some of the things me and Rachel were watching we didn't see coming.
Right, and I also thought it was funny, like, afterwards, how they were like, all these college kids just started killing themselves.
Yeah, and that's what's great is because
they
they think it's a suicide pact because that's another thing, misinterpretation. The students are thinking Tucker and Dale are wanting to kill them, but Tucker and Dale think that these kids have formed a suicide pact because every time they walk into these kids, they're dying. And it's great. There's one thing. The music is fine. We'll get to the one thing. The music is fine. A lot of it's, bluegrass music. The shots are great. You know, it's great direction. You know, with the camera shots and like overhead shots of the forest and this and that. If there's one downside I'd had to pick, like I said, we already mentioned it's 2010. If you haven't seen it, there's some spoilers. This is a pretty much of a plot spoiler or a B plot spoiler, whatever. We mentioned one of the counselors, one of the kids doesn't seem so cool, good as he is. You find out that there. Let's just say, without totally spoiling it,
I don't know how you can't.
There's a reason why he hates rednecks, because something happened with his family, and it's caused him dealing with Tucker and Dale, and this has caused him to have like a mental break, and he goes full on psychotic, and he goes from wanting to help his friends to doing whatever it takes to take out Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
Now, as much as I enjoy like the whole movie, like even like the final confrontation, like Dale's gonna be the superhero or whatever in this film. He saves the blonde and this and that. It was kind of unnecessary in this film, because this was full on comedy, and this idea was just kind of, let's try this idea, and it was thrown in there. It wasn't horrible, but I thought it kind of took away from just like the whole, the suicide pact, they're murdering us type of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't too over the top. The guy wasn't too hammy with it. I mean, there was a couple scenes when he went full on psychotic that were kind of but overall, I didn't like the concept of it.
Right, I agree.
But it doesn't make me dislike the film. Because in that scene, after he does this whole story, Tucker and Dale are scared, and then there's this big scene with, the cabin on fire, and of course more deaths and this and that. So that's just really nitpicking.
I agree.
Overall, I really, really thought this movie was a lot of fun. It's got definite replay value. The gore. Oh, we didn't talk about... This movie is pretty damn bloody. I don't know what the budget is, but we have, gunshot wounds. We have people getting shredded up. People impaled. Blood and guts everywhere. When we do see the body getting pulled out of the wood chipper, which is fantastic fucking scene, because it's Tucker and Dale struggling to get the body out. When we get close-ups on that body, it looks kind of fake, but whatever. You're already rolling with this movie. But other than that, like I said, the gore is fantastic.
The dialogue I thought was pretty decent.
The dialogue was great.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, especially with Tucker and Dale. Like, just the comments after, like, people would die. Like, I didn't know a half man across would be this much weight, or whatever it was.
Yeah, they're dragging the body away. He's like, the half man weighs as much as a whole man, or something like that. Yeah, great performances by Tucker and Dale. They're likable characters. They're really fun characters. I don't know if they're brothers or not, but like the characters.
Yeah, I don't think it says.
But they have such a great chemistry, the actors, that you can tell they've been buddies for a while.
Right.
The college students, they're likable for what they are. The gore is really good. Comedy is good. The writing is good. Like I said, my dislike for like that whole reveal is just minor nitpicking. This movie is just a lot of fun, and I want to tell Bill thank you for making me watch this one, and Rachel's probably going to thank you too, because she had a lot. Yeah, she had a lot of fun. She had a lot of fun. So yeah, highly recommend Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I've read they're going to try to do a sequel. I don't know.
I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how that would work, because I think this was like lightning in a bottle.
Tucker and Dale go to the big city?
Yeah, Tucker and Dale's Evil 2, Electric Boogaloo. But overall, we laughed our asses off so much in this film. We had so much fun. To me, it's like what Shaun of the Dead did for zombie movies, Tucker and Dale did for like slasher movies.
Agreed.
So highly recommend. Okay, so now comes to the part of this video where I throw out my challenge to Bronco, and what I'm going to do is, Stephen King is big this year. Pet Cemetery is coming out in a couple weeks, and I'm super excited. And then in September, It Chapter 2 is coming out, which I'm super excited. But what I'm going to have you do, Bronco, is it's going to be Stephen King-wise. It's going to be a film that I think is, personally, I think, is one of the most overrated horror films of all time. I am not really a fan of this film at all.
Oh.
Your challenge or whatever, I want you to watch and talk about The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Everyone holds it up on such a high pedestal. I personally think it's
Which one does he have to watch, though?
the one with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then olive oil. But anyways, once again, highly recommend.
Red Rob.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Thank you, Bill, for having us watch this. Rachel, thanks you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bronco, you got to review Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, all that crap. Cheers, and we've just had a doozy of a day.